Good morning. Welcome to the lecture on cost analysis. Today we are going to learn about what is cost and what are the types of cost and what are the factors that influence the cost of production. In any production process, the producer employs factors production such as labor, land, capital, machinery, and that is raw materials. The compensation paid to these factors is called cost. These factory inputs, they have to be compensated. They have to be compensated by the producer in the production of a commodity. This compensation is called cost. Cost of production, that is refers to the total monetary expenses incurred in transforming the input to output. In any production process where some form of input is transformed to the output, the cost involved in transforming the inputs to the output is called the cost. It is the total money spent to produce a specific quantity of goods or services. Okay. Now to next we will learn about the different types of cost. The different types of cost are money. First one is the money cost and the real cost. Money, what does it mean by the money cost and real cost? When the cost is expressed in terms of money, it is called money cost. It relates to the money expenditure by the firm on various factor inputs to produce a commodity. When a cost is expressed in terms of physical or mental efforts put in by the person in making a product, it is called the real cost. In other words, we can say it refers to the physical, mental, and psychological efforts which various members have to undergo to produce a commodity. Now, what do you mean by implicit cost and explicit cost? Explicit cost are those costs which are in the form of a contractual payments. We can say these payments are paid by the entrepreneur, the owner of the factory, in the form of rent, wages, interest, and profits. See, now these costs, that is explicitly given to the factor inputs. Implicit costs do not take the form of a cash expenditure. They are earnings of the owner employed resources. Suppose you can say the capital, it is owned by the owner, that is known as the implicit. The cost incurred is called the implicit cost. Now we will see what is actual cost and opportunity cost. Actual cost are the financial expenditure at some time, and hence it is recorded in the book of accounts. They are the actual expenses incurred for producing a commodity by the firm. This you can say the actually example for actual cost are the wages paid to the workers, expenses on the raw material, fuel, and other types of input. Now, what is opportunity cost? It is a value of the next best alternative that you gave up when you make a choice. Suppose, for example, a bakery has enough oven to make either 100 cakes or 200 loaves of bread. So, if it chooses to make cakes, the profit would have earned from the bread is the opportunity cost of producing the cake. That's why opportunity cost is equal to value of the next best alternative forgone. Actually, in order to choose, there can be 2-3 best. The alternatives may be available to the producer at point in time. Then he has to choose. He have to choose the best alternative. Now he has to choose the best one to get the most maximum profit and to minimize the cost. then the opportunity, that the alternative that he forgone, that he has lost, no, he has forgone to make this choice, is a opportunity cost. Okay, so the opportunity cost is not necessarily the money spent, but it is a benefit you missed out on not buying the best alternative option. It is the benefit you missed out on not buying the best alternative option. You are losing some alternatives, no, to take the another option. So the benefit you miss out on by not choosing the best is it is the best alternative option. Okay, now what is direct cost and indirect cost? Direct costs are those costs which can be directly traced to the particular product. Okay, now for example, expenses on raw material, fuel and wages to workers, salary to the division manager, they are the examples of direct costs. But indirect costs are those costs which are not traceable to any unit of operation. For example, expenses incurred on electricity bill, water bill, telephone bill, administrative expenses. They are the examples for indirect cost. Now, what is fixed cost and variable cost? Fixed costs are those costs which do not vary with the amount of produce. See, it does not vary with the expansion or the contraction in the output. See, now we are making the output, but it does not vary the amount of output produced. It remains always constant. But suppose we can take the example of a land or building or and this capital or machinery, but the amount of output may vary, but the fixed cost that was given for the land or the machinery, that will not change. Okay, now what is variable cost? They are this cost which directly increases or decreases with the amount of output produced. Okay, that is example for this is cost of raw materials. Now, what is marginal cost and incremental cost? Marginal cost refers to the cost incurred on the production of one more unit, one more additional unit. Suppose if you are with 10 labors, you are making we are making 10 output, and with this much of cost. Now, what is the 11 with 11 workers you are making 11 units with the suppose 15 unit of cost. But now the difference, no, that is the additional cost incurred to produce an additional unit of output is called the marginal cost. But incremental cost is refers to the cost involved in the production of a batch or group of output. It is not concerned with the one particular unit of output, but concerns with the batch of output. For example, the cost involved in the setting up of a new sales department in another city, or the cost involved in the production of 100 extra units. Now, what is accounting cost and economic costs? Accounting cost refers to the actual expenses paid by the business in terms of money. That is, wages paid to the employees, rent paid to the building, cost of raw materials, electricity bill. Economic cost is the total cost of a decision, including both explicit cost and implicit cost. Now, we will see the determinants of cost. What are the factors that influence the cost of production? First one is the technology. That is, the modern technology leads to optimal utilization of resources. And we can avoid, with the modern technology, we can avoid all kind of wastages, saving of time and reduction in production cost. But on the other hand, poor technology, it leads to higher production cost. Now, the rate of output, complete and effective utilization of all kinds of plants and equipments reduce the production cost. Here we are using, see, we have the land, you have material, and you have the raw material, you have the machinery, and you have the labors. Now we have to optimize the maximum the use of all these factor inputs in order to produce the output. If you are utilizing optimally, then automatically the production cost will reduce. But under utilization of the these factor inputs, no, obviously increase the production cost. Now, the size of the plant and scale of production. Big companies with huge plant and machineries organize production on a large scale basis, and they enjoy economies of scale. That means when a large company with a huge machinery and huge land and all the materials, no factor inputs, they can enjoy the economies of scale. And what do you mean by the economies of scale? That means with the economies of scale, the production cost per unit gradually it reduces. Now the efficiency of factors of production and management, higher productivity and efficiency of factors of production, they will lead to lower production cost. Now, the stability of the output, the stability in production would lead to optimal utilization of the existing capacity. It also brings savings of various kinds of hidden cost of interruption, and which leads to higher output. Now the loss of returns, increasing returns would reduce the cost of production, and diminishing returns will will increase the cost. And the last one is the time period. In short run, the cost is relatively high, but in the long run, it will be low, as it is possible to make the adjustments and readjustments in the production process. Okay, now now the recap is, see, we have learned about the cost analysis and what is the meaning of cost, what are the different types of cost, and what are the factors which affect the cost. Now, to conclude, I would like to recap the things that we have learned so far. Cost analysis. What is the managerial use of this cost analysis? It helps businesses understand the production expenses, the different types of cost, assist in planning, pricing, and decision making. And efficient management technology and large scale production help reduce cost, and understanding the cost is essential for maximizing profits and business growth. Okay, this is all about the cost analysis. If you like the video, you please subscribe to the channel and make the comments. Thank you so much.